everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So today I have sort of wedged myself into this like quasi semi like corner, like it's almost a corner, like you can kind of see off into my laundry area. I can't find a place in my house that isn't cluttered and piled up with inventory. I have gotten a little bit overzealous in the sourcing department, so I've got piles everywhere. So today, so we don't have clutter behind us, I am filming against a wall. So that's why everything looks a little bit different, and I've got my daughter's artwork hanging up behind me. So anyways, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Caitlin, and I am I want to say a full-time reseller, because that's pretty much what I do besides, you know, being a stay-at-home mom. But it fluctuates. Some weeks I'm in here 40 hours a week, some weeks I'm not, you know. So I would say though, on a whole, I am a full-time reseller, and I resell on 3 platforms. I have a Poshmark closet, I resell on eBay, and I resell on a site called Mercari. And today is my 3-month check-in video. I've only been doing this for 3 months, so I wanted to get on here and kind of give you some stats. I've got everything written down. I wanted to give you some stats, and I wanted to kind of check in with you, give you a little bit of a pulse check, kind of talk about what I've been doing to learn the business. And I'm not going to give too many like specific numbers as far as income, just because I don't want to be tacky. But I will kind of give you some idea as to what it is, or give you some idea as to like how much I've made at this point as far as sales and profit. And I already have kind of gone into why I started a Poshmark closet. You can actually watch that video. I'll link it at the end of this video, and it's called, you know, Where Have I Been? Because if you go back and look at the videos on my channel, they're all beauty and lifestyle videos, which I will continue to do. And I'm already working on, before I filmed this one, I filmed how I, you know, got this eye look. So like, be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a 1 palette 7 looks. It's going to be a 1 palette 7 looks video, which I know are very popular with you guys. So I hope that you enjoy this video, and please comment below, introduce yourself, leave your Poshmark closet. I would love to follow you, and also ask questions down below, which I can answer in a future video. So keep in mind, like I said, I've only been doing this for 3 months. So when I started my Poshmark closet, I've had my Poshmark closet since 2018. I've been a member of Poshmark since 2018, and I sold some of my 31 back before I knew it was against the rules for a 31 consultant to sell their 31 products on a site like Poshmark. So I stopped, and I didn't really take it seriously then. I really wasn't a good posher at all. But now I have completely turned over a new leaf. I am no longer a 31 consultant. So when you see the 31 in my closet, don't come for me. It's legal for me now. I'm no longer a consultant. And I put, you know, I'm running this as a business now. This is how I make money to pay for my girls' dance lessons, art lessons, things of that nature. So it's really been different. And then my eBay is brand new. I just started it 3 months ago. I probably started my eBay account about 2 to 3 weeks after I started my Poshmark closet. So I started my Poshmark closet back up in the middle of November of 2019. eBay probably started right at the very beginning of December of 2019. And then Mercari was right around that same time as well. So I'm going to go ahead and go through some stats. So keep in mind, I had no listings, very little feedback, and on Poshmark, like, I had nothing really, anything either. So this is all basically brand new information. So in 3 months time, I have grown my Poshmark closet to 899 active listings, and I have 19,120 followers. And getting followers on Poshmark is not difficult. It is a very social media driven app, a very social media driven social platform. So that's really not a lot, but honestly, the more followers that you have, every time you share your products out, the more people get to see them. So for me, it's a big deal. I've really been trying to grow my follower count. And then I have sold 196 items in 3 months. I have an average ship time of 1.3 days. I have a 5-star rating, and I am a Posh ambassador, which a Posh ambassador really doesn't do too much for you. Ultimately, it just, Poshmark gives you some goals as far as like how many sales, how many listings, how many, what your overall rating is, and whether or not you've left a, like purchased something yourself and left a love note, things like that. It's not a very hard thing to accomplish. So I did go ahead and get that out of the way basically in my first month on the platform, because I felt like if you're going to do this as a business, you should at least be a Posh ambassador, even though I have not seen any difference in sales or anything like that. There are some perks to it, which I could get into in a different video, but as far as like making money, I haven't seen it make me any more money, but I am a Posh ambassador. On my eBay site, I have 432 active listings, 51 sold items, and 100% positive feedback thus far. Why I have half the listings that I have on Poshmark is because eBay clientele are after a different thing. So not everything that I have listed on Poshmark is something that would even sell on eBay, and eBay runs their platform differently than Poshmark. On Poshmark, it's free to list and you don't have to pay any money to have any listings on there whatsoever. On eBay, it is not always free to list. So they give you so many free listings a month, and they give you so many free listings as like a little incentive, like here you have 3 days to get 100 items listed, and they'll throw those offers out there once or twice a month for you. So I hate to pay the 35-cent listing fee, because 2.5 listings cost you $1. So that adds up very quickly. So that's why my levels are different. And it's not as active a platform for me, partially because I'm so new. I don't have a ton of feedback, and people are nervous to buy from, you know, new sellers, which understandably, but it's actually picking up speed because I've sold, you know, I'm up to 51 items sold and I have 100% positive feedback. So people can see that I'm a legitimate seller and I'm not, you know, out there falsifying listings and selling crap. Mercari continues to be a conundrum to me. I feel like I'm broken. I don't know. Mercari and I do not see eye to eye. I've only sold 2 things on the platform. 2. I have probably 150 listings. I actually have kind of lost interest in listing, which maybe is part of the problem, because I just can't. I can't see investing the time into something that is not producing any kind of money whatsoever. So the 2 items that I did sell on Mercari have done, you know, have made me some money, which is great. You know, that was awesome. They made me money, which is great and awesome, and I did not have a negative experience with them. It's just not selling. I have 100% positive feedback from the 2 people I've interacted with. I just can't seem to get it to do anything. I don't know. So if you have some helpful tips as far as Mercari goes, let me know below. One of the things that I was told on my Mercari Facebook group page that I'm part of, because I belong to a Poshmark group, and I belong to a group that focuses on eBay and all other selling platforms, and then a group for Mercari, which I would highly recommend that you do if you are a reseller, because being a part of these groups really helps you, because it gives you, these people are their experience. They can answer questions for you, they can help you with things, they can give you answers faster than going and trying to research them yourself, or reaching out to the platform and getting an answer back from them. They're just great. So I am on a Mercari group, and you know, some of these ladies are hauling in 10 grand a month, and I'm like, what is going on? How are you doing this? And from what I can tell, Mercari has, again, a very specific clientele for their platform, which makes sense because Poshmark and eBay both have very specific type of clientele. And one of the girls told me that my stuff was too expensive. Well, it's selling at that price point on eBay and Poshmark, so I don't think I'm overpriced. I really don't understand it. Quite honestly, I really don't. And if I am overpriced, then that's not the platform for me, because I am not, you know, when I look at a lot of the listings, they're either higher like mine, or they're low, like garage sale low. And, you know, that's not what I'm here for. If I want to have garage sale prices, I'd have a garage sale, or I'd sell on my Facebook marketplace. I wouldn't bother with, cleaning these items, photographing these items, listing these items. This is a lot of work that goes into a reselling business that I wouldn't bother with to make $2 or $3 in profit. It just doesn't make sense. So, those are some of my stats. So I don't say these things to brag. I just kind of am saying them just to give you a, hey, this is what I've accomplished in 3 months. So I don't want to discuss money, like I said, but I can tell you that I am about halfway to replacing my full-time income when I worked full-time outside the home. And I was a retail manager. So I was a store manager for a retail store, and I made good money. I made more money than a lot of my friends who had 4-year degrees. So that might give you kind of an idea. I'm halfway there to replacing that income should my sales continue to maintain where they are. So I'm really happy with my progress thus far. Goals for myself, things I want to see kind of coming out of having this resale business. I would love to at least be making my full-time income back again, or exceeding it. I would like to exceed it. I would like to help retire my husband. My husband is a roofing contractor. We own our roofing company, and it's a lot of stress on him to support our large family all by himself. A lot of money. Our daughters dance competitively, and that's looking to cost us about $8,000, $8,000 to $10,000 a year. I would say pretty close to $8,000, maybe more. It all depends on how much nationals cost us. So it's a lot of money. And I have 5 children. For those of you who don't know me or haven't watched my videos, I've got 5 children, and 3 of them dance, 2 competitively, and then 1 takes art lessons. That's $36 a week. You get the idea. It's a lot of money to feed and take care of these children. So we can use the money. We need the money. And it's just a lot of pressure for him to have to do this all the time and have to pay for everything himself. So my goal is to ultimately help him be able to draw back and only take the clients he really wants to work with, and not have to have so much pressure on him, and ultimately to retire him. My main goal, my big dream goal would be to sell and make $10,000 a month. And there are people out there doing it. So that's my ultimate goal. Am I going to be there soon? Probably not. I'm just starting. I got a long way to go, but I think I'm on the right track. So some things that I have kind of, some takeaways so far is that I'm really now at the 3-month point, really starting to feel confident when I walk into a thrift store or into the Goodwill outlet or the bins. I'm really just now starting to really feel confident when I go into these places. Before, it's not that I didn't feel confident. I knew I would find products. I knew I would find items that would sell, things that I've brought home that I kind of had second guessing on have sold. Like, go figure. I have a huge inventory. If I have 900 active listings, clearly I have a big inventory. So I've brought home things that have sold within hours, and I've brought things that are still sitting since November, are still sitting. I'm gonna pull these things out of my closet because I don't know what I was thinking. Those things are sold. Go figure. You never know what's going to actually work and what's going to sell. It's always a guessing game. But I do feel a lot more confident. So when I walk into a thrift store, I have a routine. I have specific items that I look for. Before, I would kind of wander. I would wander a little more aimlessly. I just feel more in charge, and I feel like I'm getting more done with my time. Whereas before, when you're kind of aimless and you don't really know what you're doing, you waste time because you're wasting time in places that maybe you just shouldn't be bothering to waste your time. I recognize a lot more brands now. I am finding flaws faster. I know what to look for. I'm bringing home a lot less flawed items, and I'm making less purchasing errors. And not saying that I'm perfect, because Lord knows even the veterans out there are buying things that aren't right. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is just, I just feel more confident, and I just have a better grasp on what it is that I'm actually doing now. I am struggling. This is where I struggle with this business right now, is I'm still struggling to find the workload life balance. And that's something that professionals struggle with no matter what their career is. Work life, home life balance. It's harder, I think, when you work from home, because your home and your work are in the same place. So this weekend, my kids have all been homesick with the flu. I'm getting over it. I've gotten a lot of work done because they really haven't needed me. They're happy to sit, watch TV, play on their iPads, sleep. I mean, it's been the quietest weekend probably it's ever been in my house with 5 children. They're starting to feel better, thank God. But they haven't needed me other than to provide meals, refill drinks, that kind of thing. Like I'm just, a glorified nurse. So I've really been able to sit down and really list. But before that, I really haven't been successful in getting massive amounts of things listed, which is why I've got piles everywhere, because I kept sourcing, because I can't help myself. It's an addiction. And I kept buying stuff, and I kept buying good things, but the problem is I wasn't getting it listed fast enough, so I've got piles. I will say my death pile is a lot smaller than it was a week ago, because I've managed to probably get about 60 items up. So my goal this week is to get through everything I have. Get through my piles, get all of them gone, do my taxes, and then I can source again. Those are my goals. So hold me to it, guys. Hold me to it. I hate doing my taxes, and I hate listing. I just hate it. And another thing I'm struggling with is a schedule. So here's the issue. I've got all these products, all these things. I've got a good schedule as far as my children are all where they need to be, and they're at their lessons on time. And I'm sourcing. I'm getting the time for the sourcing in. I've got that all scheduled out. The issue is getting it listed and getting my social media, my YouTube channel. I'm having trouble with that. I really wanted to document more of my reselling journey, and I haven't had time to do that. So I said in my last video, from now on, I'm just gonna film when I can film, and the quality of the video might not be perfect. I might not look perfect when I sit down and film, and that's just gonna have to be the way that it is. Well, I'm gonna try to not scare you without my face on. Trust me, you're gonna want to see me with my face on. But I will definitely be doing more impromptu videos. So if that means I film a video in my car, like a what sold this week video in my car, that means I was sitting in my car and I filmed a what sold video that week. It's just gonna have to be good enough. I mean, the information's still gonna be good. Just don't look at me. Do the dishes while I'm talking. I don't know. I don't know what else to do, but I'm still trying to schedule. And another thing is, there's a lot to learn. I am not the type of person who watches any type of like current television show. It's gonna sound so horrible. I don't read magazines. I do not spend time on fashion blogs or vlogs. I don't watch the fashion people. I do not follow the fashion vloggers or the Instagram people that do the fashion things, and I don't know what's in style. I have no earthly idea. I don't know what clothing types of, different things on clothing are called. I don't know what type of materials are what. I can't look at something and go, oh, that's this type of stitch or this type of weave or whatever. I don't know these things. So that was all new for me. And when you list your items, you've got to have what they call keywords in your title and your description, because when people are researching a, crocheted cotton knit tank top, you got to have those keywords: crochet, cotton knit. You got to have these words in there, or your listing isn't going to pull up. A lot of people don't start on the Poshmark website necessarily. They might just type something into Google. And if you type in a specific clothing type into Google, Poshmark's gonna come up with, listings like right at the top of your screen. Like, these are listings, things for sale. And they do the same for Mercari and eBay. You need to use your keywords in your listings. Well, that's really hard for someone like me who would basically just wear t-shirts and leggings. And, I've owned the same pair of Adidas sneakers for 3 years, and fashion just isn't a huge thing for me. I spent all my time watching makeup videos and learning all about makeup, and that was what I liked. I kept my clothes I kept them very classic, basic, and simple. And so I had a lot to learn. I also had no idea how to turn reselling into a business. So I found a bunch of YouTubers and watched a ton of videos and learned basically what their business model was from them sharing on their YouTube videos. And then I mimicked it. I basically copied their business model, not word for word, because obviously they're not going to sit there and go, well, this is my business plan, and this is specifically what I do, and this specific amount of money that I make. But they will say things like, I shop at blah, 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 blah. I won't spend more than da, 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 da. These are the brands I pick up. These are the brands that are selling for me right now. These are the brands that are not selling for me right now. This is a customer issue I had. These are issues I've had in the past. This is how I organize my inventory. These are all things that you are not going to know unless you do the research. So I've spent a lot of time, and I'm still spending a lot of time, like a lot of time on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Facebook with those groups, learning how to do this business. And I wanted to get into that and share that with you, because if you're thinking about starting a reselling business and actually running it like a business and actually having a bigger business, you need to do this research. And there are different levels. Obviously, like, I'm taking it to a higher level because I have higher financial aspirations. Maybe you only want to have 100 listings, so it's not going to be as hard for you to manage that. But I have an inventory of almost 1,000 items, so that's a lot to manage. It doesn't, seem like it would be, but it is. One of the things that I ended up doing to make my life easier was I hired a personal assistant, a virtual assistant. I wish I could hire a personal assistant. I need one, quite clearly. A virtual assistant. I hired a company called Pretty Bone. It's PrettyBone. She's on Instagram. She is a $10,000 a month seller on Poshmark, and she has literally a warehouse and literally a team and a staff, and I do not know how she runs her sharing service. And what her service does for me is it shares my closet. With Poshmark, you have to share your closet. When you share your items in your closet, what happens is it moves your item up to the top of the search bar. So let's say you have a Nike sweatshirt and you list your sweatshirt, and a couple weeks go by, your Nike sweatshirt is going to be buried under all the other Nike sweatshirts that have been listed since then, which would be a lot because it's a very popular brand. So when a customer comes on and they research Nike sweatshirt, they're probably never even going to find your listing because it's so far down the list. So when you share your closet, what it does is it bumps it back up to the top of the search list. So that way your products stay fresh. They're at the top of the search list. They're being shared with your followers. So the 19,000 followers that I have see every single time my items are shared. They see every single one of them. And this is a very time-consuming process. And this is something that a lot of people do not like about Poshmark. Now, I was sharing my closet by myself. I was sharing my closet 3 times a day. My husband was helping me share. My kids were helping me share. It was a whole thing. It just took a lot of our time. It got to the point where my closet got so big that it took about 45 minutes to an hour to share my entire closet. So by hiring this sharing service, it took 3 hours of my day back from what I was spending with sharing and allocated it to somebody else. So I no longer have to spend 3 hours every day sharing my closet. They share every single day except for Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, and I want to say New Year's Day. I think that's it. There's 3 days of the year they do not share. Otherwise, they share every single day. She does not use bots. Bots are not allowed with Poshmark. They are against the rules. They are human people that do the work. So that's something else also to consider. And her service, she has 3 different levels, and it's really nice because you can cancel at any time, and she's had no data breach issues. She's had no loss of funds for anybody because you give her access to your closet, so she can get in and see everything in my closet. So she's had none of her clients have lost money, things like that. So she runs a really good business. So we did do that. We hired her a month ago, so we've had her service for 1 month at this point, and it's an investment for the service that I picked, which is it's a whole month of sharing. She has 1 week of sharing, 2 weeks of sharing, or a full month. And I have a full month. You can turn off the service when you're on vacation, so you'll actually get a refund for that week, so you don't actually have to pay for it. If you put your closet in vacation mode, you go on vacation, they will not continue to share your closet until you come back. They also, that's with the full month, what they call a valet service. They also have what they call like product packages. They send you a package of product, which I haven't got mine yet, my first one, so I'm excited to see. But she sends 5 clothing items for you to sell in your closet. I have no idea what they are. I have no idea the quality. The idea is that you can list them and actually help offset the cost of the $160 a month that you would pay. So I hired her for that service, and I have to say, I'm sold. I am, sold hook, line, sinker. Like I said, that's 3 hours a day, 3 times, roughly 30 a week. That's, 90 hours of work every single month that is saved. So I will take that for sure. I did do that. And I will link her Instagram below in the description box. That way you can check her out if you would like. My foot fell asleep, so now it's like doing that tingly coming back to life thing, and it really tickles and hurts at the same time. Okay, anyways, so, oh God, my foot. I haven't really announced to my friends and family what I'm doing, so I kind of haven't kept it a secret, but I haven't full on announced it yet, which is not, I guess, what my original plan was. It's not that I didn't want people to know what I'm doing, it's just that when you get when you say what you're doing, you get a lot of people who are just like, what do you do? It's not a glamorous job. What I do is not glamorous. I wade through people's used clothes. I have seen dirtiness, filthiness, a used tampon in a purse pocket. I've seen dirt, bodily fluids in undergarments. I've seen things. I have heard of horror stories of worse things than that. But yeah, so you're wading through people's essentially garbage, and everything I sell is cleaned. I clean everything, I steam everything, and I'm as sanitary as humanly possible with everything that I bring into my home. So you get a lot of questions, and another thing is people don't quite understand it. So they don't understand why why if I buy a shirt for $1, why is somebody gonna buy it off of me for $25? And the thing is there's a lot of reasons for that. So thrifting is time consuming. It takes a lot of time and effort. It takes a lot of dirtiness, depending on where you go. And it's also can be fruitless. So if you have a specific need, like you need jeans, you are desperate for jeans, and you've decided I want to buy them secondhand. A lot of people shop secondhand for a lot of reasons. They shop secondhand for the discount. They shop secondhand for the emotional support, environmental is the word I wanted. Environmental support, for the planet. They try to be eco-conscious, so they shop secondhand, which is very admirable. But they don't want to necessarily have to go wading through a thrift store to try to find the things that they want and they need. And they have specific brands that they want. I walk into a thrift store and 8 times out of 10, I'm going to walk out and have nothing that I would want for me personally. And it's not that I found bad things or dirty things or whatever. It's just that you don't always find what you need for yourself that, you know, first time that you go in, or that second time, or the third time. And a lot of people don't have that kind of time. A lot of people, they just need to buy a couple pairs of jeans so they can move on with their lives. So that's why there are places like Poshmark and eBay and, you know, things like that. Also, Poshmark is a lot of designer things. Now, I do not have high-end designer things. I just don't find them in my thrift store. The most designer thing I have found so far is a vintage Burberry scarf, and it didn't even sit in my closet for a full day. I just don't come across the designer stuff, but I do come across a lot of nice things that people want at a discount. So I'm kind of beating around the bush here. So like when you try to explain this to people, they don't always understand. They don't always get like why you're playing in used clothes and why someone would buy used clothes off the internet. And almost some people, not that I personally have seen it too much, I've seen some like questioning looks, but some people don't understand why I feel like I have the right to buy something for $1 and turn around and sell it for $25 or $30, or more, which is the goal. But the thing is that that's been going on since the beginning of time. It's just another version of sales. Look at antiques. People buy antiques for next to nothing and turn around and sell them for a lot of money. It's the same idea. It's flipping clothes. People flip houses, they flip cars, they, whatever. If I pull a designer item or a really nice item out of a bin somewhere that's heading for to be incinerated or to just go to a garbage dump, whatever, and I clean it up, I take it home, I clean it up, I have the right to sell that for whatever I want. Somebody wants that item and it is worth that to them. But people just don't understand. I haven't had anybody be outwardly rude. I don't announce what I'm doing when I'm in like thrift stores. I'm sure the workers have figured it out. They're not stupid. They know what I'm doing. I'm buying all different sizes. I spend hours in the thrift store at a time. I'm there every single week. They know what I'm doing. But as far as like customers, I don't tell people what I'm doing. If I'm shopping and someone's making small talk with me and they're like, oh, there's so many cute things today, da 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 da, I don't sit there and go, yeah, I buy it and I resell it. Like, no. You see a lot more resellers at the Goodwill outlet or the bins. I've had a lot of them go, are you a reseller too? That's what they do, and I usually am like, yeah, I'm a reseller, I haven't quite fully announced it yet to my personal world, other than putting it on my YouTube channel. A lot of people, in my personal life watch my YouTube channel, but there's still a lot of people that know me that have no idea that this is what I'm doing, and I'm okay with that. And I do want to talk a little bit about whether or not I feel like this would be a viable option for you or someone as far as a stream of income, making money at home online. So a few of the things that I would say to you is, yes, I do fully believe that this is a good way to make money online, legitimately working from home. The things I do want to say to you are, don't get caught up in what you're going to see on YouTube. So there are women on YouTube have been doing this for years and they're making $10,000 a month. They work their cans off, they work hard. And they've also been doing this for a while. So this is not a get rich quick thing. It's not always going to be like gold every single time you walk into a thrift store. You're not going to walk into a thrift store and find Louis Vuitton and Gucci and all these things that are worth all this money every single time you walk into a thrift store. That's not reality. Reality is you're going to wade through a lot of garbage before you find something good. That's just it. This job requires patience. This job requires you to study, and study. You're going to make mistakes. I'm making them. I still am making them. You're going to need to pay attention to detail. You're going to need to be organized. Don't start off on the wrong foot. And this is something I tried really hard, and I did a really good job, except for with my organization of my inventory. This is where I got a little bit sloppy. I was doing well. I had everything in bins, and in the beginning I was logging everything in my computer on a spreadsheet, and I gave everything a number. But for whatever reason, I did not put that number into the description of all of my listings. For whatever reason, I had every single item logged in this computer system on this spreadsheet that I made. Everything had a number. Everything had what I paid for it. Description, and then every single item that I put into a bag, because I individually bag all my items. I grabbed one so I can show you. I individually bag all of my items, and then I number them. I use Ziploc bags. I have found them to be the most cost efficient, which sounds crazy. I've heard of people saying, oh no, buy your poly mailers on eBay, or whatever. You can go to Walmart, and I got Ziploc this last time at Sam's Club because they actually were cheaper than the generic, but I can get 80 gallon Ziploc bags at Walmart for less than $4. 100 of the poly mailers cost me a minimum of $8 on Amazon. So do the math, this is cheaper. And then as far as mailing these products out, I actually tried reaching one. I can't. I'm so out of breath. You can tell I'm trying to get over this illness. Okay. I get all my mailing supplies from the post office for free. I order them online. They're delivered right to my door, and because everything that goes through Poshmark is shipped priority mail. I keep poly mailers for my eBay sales that are not priority mail sales that go first class, and that's the only time I buy those. I try to keep my costs very, very cheap. I'm getting off topic. So I bagged all my items up. This is me in the beginning. I bagged them all up. I gave them numbers. I put those numbers in the computer system. Where I dropped the ball is I didn't put the item number, in the description of the listing. So I would sit down and I would say, oh, I sold these pants. And I would go and say, okay, now I got to figure out what bin they're in. So I'd pull up the listing, look at the description. The item number isn't there. So I'd have to go to the computer, find it in the computer. It was just an extra step. So that was the first way I kind of screwed up in my inventory management. And then as I got more and more items, I got to the 400 mark. I started to run out of bins, and I started to run out of ways to stash my stuff. So I started putting things in cardboard boxes and laundry baskets. And it quickly got out of control and was hard to, it wasn't out of control. I could still find everything. It just took a lot longer, because when you're digging through a humongous box that can hold 50 or 60 things, that's a lot of crap to wade through, versus a storage tote which could hold 20 to 30 things. So my husband helped me get organized. If you saw it on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram. I took pictures of my shelves and my bins. So he has been great at that. So we've got my inventory system back under control. Point is, don't let it get out of control to begin with, because there's nothing worse than having to dig and dig and dig and dig and dig to find things. It just makes the process all that more annoying. I find that pulling product to get ready for shipping is so much easier now that it's all 100% organized, versus when I had to dig through 60 different items to find the one. That was annoying. And it's just a lot better now, the way we have it. So don't let that get out of control. But keep yourself organized. Manage your expectations. So when I say manage your expectations, here's the thing. I kind of mentioned it before, you're not going to walk in and find Louis Vuitton every single time you walk into the thrift. It's just not going to happen. I have not found any Louis Vuitton. I haven't found a lot of designer. But that's also because of where I live. I live in small town America, but also, things aren't going to sell fast necessarily. Some things will, some things won't. You'll sit on some things, and some things, will fly out the door. Usually the things that you don't expect to fly out the door are the ones that are going to fly out the door. Trends change. The brands that people are after change. You may think that, oh my gosh, I had to pick up this Victoria's Secret pink thing because everybody loves Victoria's Secret. Well, yeah, it sells pretty good. Most of it. Not all of it. Some of it sits. I've had like a 50-50 sell through on all my Victoria's Secret stuff. Half of it has flown out the door and the other half of it is still sitting here. You don't always know. So just manage your expectations. There are days where you're going to sell things. There are days when you're not going to sell things. You're not going to get rich quick doing this job. You're just not. You can make money. You can make good money, but you're not going to get rich quick. I think this is an amazing job to have if you are a high school or college student. I would strongly consider it if you have kids and you want to give them a career, you want to help them get a job. Like, I'm already teaching my 10-year-old how to do this job. The reason why is because when she's in high school, her dance career is going to be so intense that she's not going to have time to work a regular job. So she's going to need to make money, especially if she's going to want a car. She's going to have to pay for her phone. She's going to want to, buy things, and she's going to want money to do things with her friends. She's going to need money. And I want her to learn how to take care of herself. I don't want to just hand her money. So I'm teaching her how to do this because this is something that she could do foreseeably and make money. I wish I had known about this earlier in life, much earlier in life. I think it's great. You're going to have to study, and because you're going to need to learn what brands are good and what brands aren't necessarily good. And you're going to need to learn about keywords and how to build a good listing. And you're going to have to learn photography. And, I don't edit my photos. A lot of resellers do edit their photos. I do not. I feel like what you see is what it is, and that's that. You're going to need to, get yourself set up. You're also going to need to learn about taxes. Every state is different, and I'm not going to sit on here and give you tax advice because that would be horrible of me to do because I'm still learning. But specific things are write-offs. You need to be tracking your mileage. You need to be tracking, your sales. You need to be tracking your expenses. You need to know that you will get a tax form once you hit a certain amount of money sold. I think it's $500. Once you have so much income you've sold so much, you have to pay taxes on that. And at the end of the year in January, just like your job, you won't get a W-2. You'll get something called a 1099, and that 1099 is a tax form. You have to go do your taxes. You have to pay taxes on that money. You also need to learn about profit margins and have an understanding of that. So if you don't have any type of business experience, that's something you want to be studying so that you kind of understand how that works. You don't want to buy things for $10, sell it for $20, and then once, the Posh fees come out and your cost of goods come out, you've made $5. Like, that's, you don't want that. So you're definitely going to, need to pay attention to what you're doing as far as expenses and understand profit margins and bookkeeping. And there's so much to it. And you don't need a lot of money to start. You could just sell things from around your home. A lot of people start that way. But if you're going to do this like a business, you've got to do it like a business. So I would recommend watching Honey Rags is good. Nicole State is good. Courtney from a channel called Common Tags. I like Becky Park on Poshmark. I like empty hanger, the empty hanger. I'll try to link these channels below in my description, so you can find them and watch them, and hopefully one day I can be a resource for you as well. I'm still learning, so I'm not going to be able to share huge insight but I definitely plan to. My next video is going to be my top 10 things that have sold in the last 90 days, since I wanted to do what is selling videos every week but have failed miserably at that. So we're going to do my top 10 sales from the last 3 months. That's my next one. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I have officially talked for, oh my god, 50 minutes. Wow, I've talked forever. Anyways, I hope that you liked this video. I hope that you found some value. I kind of got off on some tangents, but I really wanted to use this time to kind of just get some things off my chest and share with you kind of where I've been and what my journey's been. And that's really it. So I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you will like this video, because it does help me. Make sure you remember, share your Poshmark closet down below. Just put your handle so I can find you. Comment, leave any questions you might have for me down below, because that would be great content for another video. Follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my channel, go check out the other ladies I mentioned. I'll put them in the description box below. There are so many others. Those are just some of my favorites. Check out Pretty Bone if you are a reseller and that's something that might interest you. I'll have that link below. Also, if you are new to Poshmark and you do not have a Poshmark account or a Poshmark closet, if you use my code, which is in the description box when you sign up, you get $10. And you don't have to spend that $10 in my closet. You can spend that $10 anywhere you like. And when you use my code and you get $10 off, I also get $10. So it really helps me out, because I am looking to replace all my kids' coats for next year. Their winter jackets took a beating this year, so I am looking to replace them all. So I appreciate anybody who signs up under me and uses that code. And as always, I love each and every one of you, and I appreciate those of you who have stuck around with me as my channel has been kind of, you know, non-existent basically. I haven't been doing a ton, but well, I've been kind of finding myself. And you know, if you do love the makeup video contents, like I said, please stay tuned. It's coming, and I am coming in with more Poshmark and reseller content. And I hope you all have an amazing day, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.